What can I say? Genuinely, what can I say after that? You know what? We've reached this feeling as Manchester United fans way too often, way too recently. And it's this feeling of absolute apathy in certain situations. Like in that game today, and in many instances under Ten Hag and different instances with Amorim, I felt numb. I felt numb. And I remember being so angry after the Fulham game because I thought, we showed some signs against Arsenal and then maybe we were showing some, signs of positivity and we went right back to what we're used to doing, which actually shows that nothing has changed. And after that game, this game now against Grimsby of all teams, who fair play to them, they showed up, they fought and they did everything that they're supposed to do. But our manager and these players got outworked, outmaneuvered, and outclassed by a League Two team. Look back at the moments where we had the ball versus when they had the ball. Which team actually looked to penetrate and get through the other one? It was them. And let's be very honest, you can use a Harry Maguire last-minute equaliser as some sort of thing to cling on to. At the end of the day, they should have been 3-1 up. Through Harry Maguire's own fault. Everything about that game points to major dissections within the fan base over certain players, over the manager, over the system, and all this sort of stuff. I think there's one thing that we can all collectively agree on, though. We have given the manager, the management team, that means the staff and the players and everyone at the football club, a lot of slack for what happened last season. A lot. We finished 15th. And we lost the European final to Spurs. And because of that, we had to play this game. We had to play a Carabao Cup fixture in the second round because of where we finished last season. We go away to Grimsby. We get the easiest draw out of every Premier League club. Meanwhile, Fulham are out there smashing championship teams and Brighton out there smashing showing the golfing class. We're against a League Two team who have some quality but are playing with mainly pride. Because if our quality was there to be shown, we should easily be winning that game. And what happens? We lose, and we lose in quite an emphatic way because the scoreline will suggest when you look back on it that we just lost on penalties. Maybe we're a bit unlucky. No, Grimsby were the unlucky ones that it got to penalties in the first place. And ultimately, I think, like I say, we've given the manager, the players, us as the fans have given managers and players enough slack, more than enough slack, and they reward us with that. This is what I'm going to say as a phrase that will just go throughout the entire football club. Heads must roll. And I'm at this point, I don't care which ones roll. Because there is a case now building up against all of the different factors within the football club that if they were to go, no one can be upset about it. The players today. Andre Onana, that is your last game for Manchester United, ever. Because I've been very fair. I've been very, very fair with Andre Onana. And I've been quick to dismiss people who said he's this sort of goalkeeper, he's this. I've said that he's lacked some of the fundamentals of goalkeeping. Absolutely he does. But he can pull off a good performance every now and again. The simple fact of the matter is, when you look at the catalogue of errors and the nature of them, and what that instills in the backline and how that makes the whole club feel, and you bring a goalkeeper for their distribution and the man can't pass anything, anywhere, then there is true cause to actually say that this guy is, in my lifetime, I've been watching Man United for 20 odd years, in my lifetime, is the worst goalkeeper that I've seen represent Manchester United as the number one. He's the worst number one goalkeeper I've seen at Manchester United over the last 20 years. And I say that with no real joy because I'm one of those fans, believe it or not, I want the best for this football club. I don't want to come on here and be angry. I want to come on here and think of what can I talk about and have a bit of a laugh and joke that we just battered Grimsby. That's what I want. I don't want to sit here talking about this. But Andre Onana was poor once again. And I cannot exempt him. I can't exempt many of the defenders, bar maybe Harry Maguire. I don't think any of them really contributed much to the game. I thought Tyler Fredrickson, that might be your last one as well, because you had a real chance today and you bottled it, kid. I know you're young and you're getting used to it, but poor Aiden Heaven, I thought you were just as bad. And the one defender that we didn't have was Lenny Yoro, and we missed him. The 19-year-old is who we're missing. And then you look at the wingers. You look at the wing backs. Ahmad, been poor all season. Absolutely anonymous once again. Mateus Cunha, running about like a headless chicken, trying to do as much as he can. Still not really giving us much. Mason Mount comes off the bench, does the same thing. Bruno Fernandes, trying to do something. Kobe Mainu, our best player, who had been ostracised for the first 2 games. Benjamin Sesko, awful. And this isn't me calling Benjamin Sesko, any of these players, awful, all those things. I'm saying their performances were awful. It's descriptive. I'm allowed to say that. And Benjamin Sesko, anonymous for the entire game, caught up by League 2 defenders. And in my opinion, we'll have to see what the kind of thinking was behind this, but while your £70 million striker was the 10th one to take a penalty, I think he ducked it, personally. I think maybe Amrim tried to take him out the firing line or whatever it was, but that's a terrible look, frankly. And Burma, I know, missed his, trying to overcompensate, hitting the bar, is what it is, but Cunha's penalty was the worst of everyone's bunch. And that showed arrogance, that showed a level of vulnerability within the squad that a lot of these players think they're better than what they are. That was kind of, a metaphor throughout the entire team. But it's like I say, Ruben Amorim, I've been very, very patient. I've been very fair. A lot of fans have been very fair. Still, fans will kind of come up after this game and be like, it's only 3 games into the season or this. What have we seen? We've seen a game against Arsenal where we played well, still lost, but we all felt all right. A game against Fulham, which we conceived to lose, still got a point. Wasn't good enough over the course of 90 minutes. And a full 90 minutes that wasn't good enough against a League 2 team. That is after £200 million spent in the window, when there could be more profiles that you could have beefed out the squad in different ways, whatever. But you brought some good players in, and we should be seeing a lot more. And I'm seeing, when we're 2-0 down, 70 minutes on the clock, you're fiddling about with your tactics board. I get that he's a tactical periodization manager. He wants to analyze the opposition. He wants to react to things in game. He wants to make changes. He wants to probably explain things to the people coming on. Totally understand that. But what a horrible look. Because the preservation of this system, which hasn't been working at all, right? It hasn't been working at all, is costing us in every kind of sense of the word. Because I'm not seeing any real benefits from it. I'm not seeing an overload in many areas of the pitch. And yes, there is part blame on the manager and part blame on the players. Of course it is. The manager's not the one going out there and doing these things. He's not the one skying it from 3 yards when De Ligt and Seshko couldn't get out of each other's way. He's not trying to take bad shots from just outside the penalty area when we should be doing a lot better in those circumstances. I do understand all that. I get it. But ultimately, these players, this manager, this team have contrived to lose against League 2 opposition in the Carabao Cup. And for me now, there can be no real dissenting voices that have to staunchly say there and be patient, do this. We always do this with managers. We always do that. I hear you. I hear what you're trying to say. But no manager has ever gotten us this low. No team has ever gotten us this low before. Heads have to roll. And I need to know which ones they are. Because you can write off games like this when they're rare. Do you know what I mean? You can write these things off because these sorts of humiliations, you can write them off as an anomaly. Every single manager worth their salt has had a humiliation of some sort. We've had so many in the last 12 months that I've lost count. And I'm so angry that we always do this. We do this like season upon season. And I try and be the positive fan and all this, but you notice, I'm not name calling anyone. I'm not doing all the stuff that you will typically see online that I can not understand why people say that, but I can understand why people's heads have gotten that hot after what they've been seeing. My head's hot after watching that. But I'm allowed to criticize because I would be negligent if I was just to ignore everything that's going on. And we are in a situation where on the 27th of August, we only have 2 competitions to be in. It should be 4, minimum 3, and it's 2. What happens now? I can't exempt many players on this pitch today bar Kobe Mainu. I thought Cunha tried, but again, the penalty just kind of dismissed all of that for me. But I can't think of too many players who can hold their head up high and said they gave it their all. I think Kobe maybe has said that, he should be playing more games, which would be nice to see. But ultimately, whatever happens against Burnley now, it will just happen. It's a soul-sucking loss 3 days out from that game. If we lose that, I wouldn't be surprised. And I'm sick as a Manchester United fan of not being surprised when we lose. So whatever happens now, I just want change. I want to see it drastically. I want to see it quickly. And I thought we were on a good track. Maybe we could still be on a good track, but I can't feel positive at all after that. Just let me know what you think of that game. I mean, I know this is a pretty negative one, and you can't really expect me to do anything less than that after what we've just seen, but get in the comments, let me know what you think, because I'm not pulling any positives from that game, but what was your biggest analysis that you took away? And for me, like I say, I can't really defend anyone, managers and players alike, so we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. But as a Man United fan, speaking to you as another Man United fan, accept the memes that are coming our way, because we deserve them. Like, we would banter every other club if it happened to them. It's our turn. It's been our turn for about 2 or 3 years now. It's still our turn. So I would suggest turn off your WhatsApp groups, turn off your social media, and just please go to bed, go to work in the morning, hug your families, stay with your loved ones. But that's it from me today. Nothing positive, nothing really that I can say that wouldn't be just blowing smoke, and I don't want to do that. So on a positive, I guess, for me, thank you very much for the support on the channel. It has been amazing. I really appreciate you guys for doing that. Will I be doing a watch along for Burnley? Probably not, is the answer. But yeah, let me know what you thought in the comments below. Subscribe, of course, if you are new. And I'll see you on the next episode.